businesses just absolutely crush it, while others, well, they just seem to fizzle out. The answer, it turns out, often comes down to one big idea. So let's get right to it.
You've seen it happen, right? An online store pops up, everyone's talking about it, and then, poof, gone. And you think, but they had such a cool product. Well, here's the thing. It's not always about the product. It's not even just about flashy marketing. The real secret? It's about understanding the entire world surrounding that business.
And that brings us to our big idea for today, the business environment. This is the official term for it. Basically, it's everything. All the factors, both inside a company's walls and way outside of them, that can impact how it operates. It's the playing field, the weather, and the rule book all rolled into one. This is the key that unlocks that mystery.
So to really wrap our heads around this, we need to split it into two big buckets. Think of it as what's happening inside the company versus what's happening outside.
And here's that split. On one hand, you've got the internal environment. This is the stuff you can actually control. It's like your company's DNA. You build it, you shape it. But then there's the external environment. This is more like the weather system. You can't stop the rain, you can't command the sun to shine, but you'd better have an umbrella or some sunscreen ready.
So diving into that DNA a little bit, these are your internal factors. This is your core. What are your company's values? What's its big mission? Its whole reason for being? How are you structured? And maybe most importantly, who are your people? What skills do they have? These are the levers you can actually pull to change your own company's direction.
Okay, but then you step outside your own doors, and there's this whole other world of external factors. We're talking about suppliers, customers, and of course, competitors. These are the folks you deal with every day, but you don't control them. They have their own goals, their own plans, and believe me, this is just the first layer. The forces at play get much, much bigger.
All right, theory is great, but let's make this concrete. We're going to zoom in on the e-commerce world. It's fast, it's huge, it's constantly changing. So if you're an online store, how in the world do you start to map out that crazy external weather system we were just talking about?
Well, there's a powerful tool for that. It's called a PESTLE analysis. Seriously, think of it like a business weather forecast, or maybe even a decoder ring. It helps a company scan that wider world for big opportunities and threats. PESTLE stands for political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and legal. Let's break down what that actually means.
First, let's look at the P and the E, political and economic forces. A government launching something like a Digital India initiative? That's not just a small thing. That's a huge tailwind pushing you forward. But then, on the economic side, sure, a growing economy means people have more cash to spend, but what about inflation? Or shifting exchange rates? Those can eat into your profits just as fast.
And just to put that into perspective, look at this number, 47 million. That's how many people got certified under just one of those initiatives. That's not just a number. That is a massive wave of potential employees and, more importantly, new customers who know their way around the digital world. You just can't ignore a four-step ick.
Next up are the S and T, the social and technological waves. These two are so often intertwined. You've got this huge social shift, a young population that expects convenience and prefers to shop online, and technology is right there to meet that demand, with things like AI creating a totally personalized experience for you, or advanced logistics making delivery super fast.
And if you thought the last number was big, get ready. 900 million. That's the projected number of internet users in India by 2025. That's not a market, it's a whole new world of customers. A number like this just screams opportunity, and it's driven entirely by those social and tech trends.
And last but not least, in our PESTLE scan, we have E&L, environmental and legal. More and more customers are asking, is this product sustainable? What about the packaging? And you've got to have a good answer. At the same time, the legal side is getting tougher, with major rules about protecting consumers and their data. These aren't optional nice-to-haves. They are the absolute rules of the road for earning trust.
Okay, so we've used PESTLE to get this incredible weather forecast for the business world. We see the storms and the sunshine coming. But now what? How do you actually use that information to make a plan? That, my friends, is where our next tool comes into play.
This is the classic SWOT analysis. It stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And look at how it's organized. The top half, strengths and weaknesses, that's all internal. That's your company's DNA we talked about. For an e-commerce store, a strength is being open 24/7. A weakness, maybe you're totally relying on the internet. Then the bottom half, opportunities and threats, that's all external. That's the weather system. An opportunity is that huge growing base of internet users. A threat, fierce competition from the big players.
All right, now for the part where it all clicks into place. This isn't just about learning acronyms for a test. When you put these two tools together, you basically develop a strategic superpower. This is how you go from just reacting to what's happening to actually charting a course.
So here's the magic connection. Your PESTLE analysis, that big picture scan of the outside world, it feeds directly into your SWOT analysis. You see a new government policy that supports your industry? Boom, that's an opportunity. You see economic inflation picking up? Well, that might expose a weakness if your customers have less to spend. You spot a social trend towards sustainability. That could be a huge threat, or you could turn it into a strength by leading the way with eco-friendly products. You see? The external scan tells you what's happening out there, and the SWOT tells you how you're positioned to handle it.
And this stuff is an abstract theory. It is happening right now, all around us. Take this quote. It points to a massive social shift where younger consumers value experiences over just stuff. Now, if your business sells expensive material goods, that sounds like a threat, right? But what if you sell travel or unique experiences? Suddenly, that same trend is a massive opportunity. It's all about perspective. And really, that's the superpower. Once you start seeing the world through this PESTLE and SWOT framework, you can't turn it off. You now have the mental toolkit to look at any business around you, your local coffee shop, a giant tech company, anything, and start connecting the dots. So my question to you is this. Now that you can see these forces, what opportunities and threats are hiding in plain sight in the businesses you see every